Imagine this. You've been going from doctor to doctor for years. You have these symptoms, but nobody can figure out what's wrong. That's the reality for millions of people. But today, we're diving into something really special, a new AI system that's being trained to solve some of the biggest mysteries in modern medicine, rare diseases.
So, just how big of a problem are we talking about? Well, let's start with a number, and it's a huge one. 300 million. That's how many people around the world are estimated to be living with a rare disease. This isn't some niche issue, it's a massive global health crisis that's basically hiding in plain sight.
Okay, so why is it such a mystery? For those 300 million people, getting a diagnosis is often this incredibly long, frustrating journey. And it really boils down to three big reasons why these conditions are just so tough for doctors to pin down.
Yeah, it's pretty much a perfect storm of challenges. First off, the exact same disease can look totally different in different people. Then, you've got the fact that each individual disease is so rare that a doctor might go their entire career without ever seeing a single case. And when you put those two things together, you get the final piece of the puzzle. Doctors just aren't familiar with what they're seeing, right? You can't diagnose what you've never even encountered.
But what if you could create a kind of detective, one with a perfect memory of every single rare case ever documented? Well, that's exactly the idea behind a new tool called DeepRare. And it's an AI that's not just built to search for answers, it's designed to investigate them.
So what exactly is DeepRare? Well, it's what's called an agentic AI system. And that word, agentic, is the key. See, instead of being one giant AI program trying to do everything at once, think of it more like a whole team of specialized AIs, or agents, that all work together. They're coordinated by a really powerful large language model, and this lets them sift through all kinds of messy clinical data, symptoms, lab results, genetics, you name it, to come up with a ranked list of what the diagnosis might be.
Okay, so how does an AI detective actually think? To really get what's going on under the hood, the creators use this fantastic analogy. They describe it as a high-tech detective agency with a whole team on the job trying to crack the case.
So this agency has three main parts. First up, you've got the central host. Think of this as the lead detective, the one managing the whole case and keeping track of everything in its long-term memory. Then that lead detective sends out its team of specialized agents. These are like the forensics experts. Each one has a specific skill. Maybe one's an expert at analyzing genetic data, another at interpreting symptoms. And finally, the whole team has access to this massive evidence locker, which is packed with over 40 medical tools and a constantly updated library of knowledge. It's a system that's really built for a deep investigation.
An AI detective agency sounds pretty cool, right? But does it actually solve the case? Well, DeepRare was put to the test. It went up against 15 other methods, everything from traditional tools to other advanced AIs. And the results? Honestly, they're nothing short of stunning.
Just look at this. In a direct head-to-head comparison, DeepRare correctly identified the disease over 57% of the time. Now, what about the next best method? It couldn't even crack 34%. That is a nearly 24 percentage point lead. We're not talking about a small improvement here. This is a massive leap forward in our ability to diagnose these diseases.
And it seems like the more complex the case gets, the better DeepRare performs. When they tested it against a specialized tool called Exomizer, using multiple types of data at once, so genetics and symptoms combined, its accuracy shot up to over 70%. It doesn't just handle complexity, it actually seems to thrive on it.
But here's the thing. For doctors to actually use an AI, accuracy isn't enough. They also need to be able to trust it. And the biggest fear with medical AI is the black box problem, where the AI just spits out an answer with zero explanation. DeepRare was specifically designed to break that box wide open. The researchers put it perfectly. They said that every diagnosis comes with a transparent chain of reasoning. So what does that mean? It means DeepRare doesn't just point a finger at a suspect, it shows its work. It lays out every single clue, connects every piece of evidence, and basically hands the doctor the entire case file to review and verify for themselves.
Okay, but is that reasoning actually any good? To figure that out, they had human clinical experts review the AI's logic. And the result? They agreed with its conclusions over 95% of the time. So this isn't just a transparent AI. It's an AI whose logic actually stands up to expert human review. And that builds a crucial bridge of trust.
All right, so let's wrap this all up. We started with this huge challenge, 300 million people looking for answers. Then we saw the innovation, an AI that works like a detective agency.
we saw the proof. It just blows 15 other methods out of the water. And maybe most importantly, we saw the trust, a system built on clear, expert-verified reasoning.
And that really brings us to our final thought. DeepRare could be a lifeline for millions, for sure, but it also shows us a whole new way of thinking about artificial intelligence, one that isn't just powerful, but also transparent and trustworthy. So the question it leaves us with is this: if an AI that can show its work is able to help solve rare diseases, what other great mysteries in science, technology, and beyond can it help us unravel?